Is everyone settled? Has everyone got seats? Squeezed people in tonight, didn't we? I left for 2 minutes and now look what happens. All these strangers come in. What's going on? No such thing as a stranger, people I haven't said hello to before. Hello! Thanks everyone for coming. Lovely to see everybody. Smiley faces, smiley faces. That's what we need. That's nice energy. We got the lovely Effie with us tonight, who has been my angel to come in at the last minute and come and help me out, which I'm forever grateful for. So I'm going to pass over and see if you want to open in any way that you feel like opening.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to see so many people here. And it's not actually warm out there, is it? No, we had the nice lights coming down the high street. I don't usually come out at this time of the night. Not for any other reason. I'm not a witch, believe it or not. So it's nothing to do with the dark. Now, we would normally will open in just simply an opening prayer. So if you'd be good enough to join me, ladies and gentlemen. Divine, eternal Creator, higher spirits, guides, teachers, thank you for bringing each and every one of us safely to this thy sanctuary this evening. We give thanks for the sunshine today. We know it'll rain again tomorrow, but we had the sun today. We thank all of the young men and women in uniform who have helped out over the COVID pandemic time, and whether they be in civilian uniform or winter army uniform. We give thanks for their energy. Likewise, we are beginning, fortunately, to look after the wild animals that roam the earth. We have not husbanded them very well in the past. We give thanks for the pets that give such unconditional love to their owners. And I would ask, dear Lord, that when all the leaders gather together for whatever reason, that they continue the dialogue for peace, because we have had a wide awakening as to what a war would look like if it was to start up again. But more particularly, our brothers and sisters are equally entitled to a roof over their heads, clothes on their back and food on the table. And this we can deal with. We will leave, dear Lord, this service in your hands. Amen.
Thank you. I can turn that off.
Oh, coffee. I thought, oh, this is getting
that's me going. Last time we didn't. There wasn't that many people stayed for tea and coffee, and we threw most of the tea away. So I'm like, people can make their own, and now I have millions of people, and now I'm feeling like, oh, I need more cups. I've just got the healing book here. You all know the drill by now, don't you? That you just got to send out nice, happy, lovely thoughts to people. And I'm not going to say imagine them in a better place, because that always sounds a little bit weird. Just imagine them in a better situation than they are now. Just send out lots of healing and lovely energy to them would be great. Great Spirit, we thank you for the love, blessings, protection and understanding we've received the last few months, but ask that we continue to receive them over the coming time. Life is hard on so many people, and while we reflect on this, we ask that healing and love be sent to those in need of extra attention, those that may be ill or suffering both mentally and physically. So our healing list is Jessie, Jack, AC, Jan, Darren, David and Mum, Joy, Anita and Barry and Gillian. If you didn't pop any names in the healing book and you want to pop it in after. But if you could just take a moment just to think of them, would be lovely. Thank you, that's lovely. Just got a little story to read out today. Because one of the things that people ask me quite often is they always say to me, I had a really weird dream the other night. And they always want to know if dreams have meanings, or if things that they see in their dreams might come true and things like that. And I found a story that was quite incredible. It was a lady who does have those kind of dreams, and this is her story. So, waking up with a gasp, I sat bolt upright in bed. Oh, it's one of those dreams again, I muttered to myself, snuggling back down under the duvet again. I just dreamt that one of my more elderly patients, Anne, passed away. A nurse in a busy hospital, I regularly had vivid dreams about my patients, but I didn't see these dreams as premonitions of death. I just didn't see them as anything creepy at all. Instead, my dreams were a reminder to keep a close eye on certain patients. Next day at work, I spent extra time fussing over Anne. "You are good to me, Davina," she said gratefully. I just smiled to myself. Sometimes I get a strong sense that the dream really was telling me that the time was near for the patient to pass over. In these cases, I always made sure that I had the relative's phone number at hand and called them. I never rang them to say, "Oh, your mum's going to pass away." I just phoned to suggest that it might be an idea to visit just in case. In 1996, I read a book about Feng Shui, the Chinese art of releasing healing energy into your home and relationships, and I was hooked. I spent 3 years training to be a Feng Shui practitioner. 3 years later, in 1999, I launched my own Feng Shui business. My interest in energy work strengthened and my fascination with all things spiritual, and I headed off to Peru, where I discovered shamanism. I was fortunate enough to learn shamanic skills with the Kiro, direct descendants from the Inca. I travelled all over the world, visiting places like Hawaii and the Amazon, learning and sharing skills with other shamans. Around the time that I discovered shamanism, I really began to explore the meaning of the vivid dreams that I'd had for years, and I started keeping a dream journal. One night in 2014, I had the most bizarre dream. In my dream, I was driving a red sports car, whizzing around country lanes. I'd just left a party, and I remember distinctly enjoying the thrill of driving so fast. The wind blew through my hair as I changed gears and put my foot down the accelerator, but the car began to slip out of control. Instantly, I knew that I was going to crash. Instead of fear, I felt a sense of calm wash over me. Instinctively, I knew that I had to go with the flow, not try and take control of the car, which is what I would normally have done. Then there was a loud explosion and everything went black. I woke up in my own bed, heart thumping hard in my chest. "It wasn't real," I muttered, surprised. That dream had been so vivid that it felt like I really had been in there in that crash. I managed to get back to sleep, but the nightmare stayed with me all the next day. It was so powerful that I couldn't shake it off. But I owned a red Renault Clio, not a fancy sports car. Even so, I was sure the dream contained an important message. A month later, I had to drive to Leeds for a meeting. It was tipping down with rain, and I could hardly see the road, even with the wipers going at double speed. Halfway through my journey, I was travelling on a dual carriageway, going a slow and steady 50 miles an hour. Suddenly, I was struck by a feeling of dread, and that's when I saw the lorry. Oh my God, I was going to crash into it. I tried to steer the car away, but nothing happened. The tyres had no grip on the wet road. It was like driving on a sheet of water. As I veered helplessly towards the lorry, I suddenly thought, this is my dream. So, rather than trying to steer and take control, I went with the flow. I knew it was important for me not to fight for control. The dream had shown me the best way to act. I watched, powerless but strangely calm, as with a screech of wrenching metal, my car crashed into the side of the lorry, partially sliding beneath it. It was a few minutes before the truck stopped because the driver hadn't even seen me crash into him. It was like it was happening in slow motion. It was terrifying, but at the same time, I knew in my heart that I'd be just fine. When the emergency services arrived, the firefighters had to open my door with a crowbar. The whole side was buckled in. "How did you survive this crash?" the policeman asked me in amazement. As I turned around to examine my car, I could see his point. It was a total write-off, a crumpled piece of metal. I should have been crushed to death. Instead, I'd walked away without even a scratch on me. "Are you okay?" the lorry driver asked, hurrying over. The poor man was completely shaken. He couldn't believe that I hadn't been killed, let alone that I was completely unharmed. I believed that my dream was a rehearsal for that event. It was a precognitive dream, meaning that I predicted something that was going to happen. Thanks to that dream, when the crash happened in real life, my subconscious mind knew what to do and I was able to stay relaxed. That dream happened years ago now, but I'm still convinced the reason I walked away from that crash alive is because it was a clear warning from the spirit world. Spirit saved my life, and I'm so very grateful. Like I said, it's just a nice little story that just shows that we should pay attention to our dream. I'm not saying you need to pay attention to the dream where you're walking a duck down the road and a lead and go out and buy a duck. That's not where we're going with this. But some dreams are just there, and Spirit will find a way they can to communicate with us. And a lot of the times they will use our dreams, because that's at a time when we're very open and we're a lot more relaxed, we're more likely to actually let them in. So just if something seems a little bit out of the ordinary, just pay attention to it, because they are always on our side. I don't know if you've got anything you want to say or add, or if you just want to do your thing, it's up to you.
Right. Thank you very much, William. I don't quite know whether we're coming or going, because...
I've thrown you with this now, haven't
Yeah.
I? Sorry.
No, we usually someone said, now you can do your address, you see.
You can do whatever you want.
Yes, but the point is, You do have to be incredibly careful when we're talking about the dream world, because invariably you dream because the last thing you were thinking of is what you actually start to worry about while you're asleep. And yes, insofar as its spirit will get in touch with you if you are willing, let's put it this way. The spirit world cannot make you do anything. They will not make you do anything. They're not here to do that. That's not their position. Their whole position is merely to support and to help you, right? But if you have mediumistic abilities, or you have senses that maybe that you would like to be a healer or whatever, you have begun to think of that subject, and therefore spirit will start to, give, almost like plant the odd idea in your head just to get you to think. But they cannot control you under any circumstances. So for any of you who have been having nightmares just recently, I would suggest that before you actually go to sleep, is try not to think a lot about all sorts of things, and try to count maybe to 10 and just go off to sleep. But it's anything like this is fascinating, and if we get any help from the spirit world, we will take it. Let's put it that way. Now, so saying, for those of you who have been to spiritualist meetings before, you will have seen various mediums before, and my mediumship is not very much like those of my colleagues. Spirit works with me, or I will work with them. It's as simple as that. I do not do private readings from the platform. That's the main thing. And all I would ask you to do is just simply try not to focus totally upon one person who you would like to come through, because when they pass over into the world of spirit, they do not lose their individuality and this sort of thing. They may very well decide, she's wearing black trousers, I'm not working with her tonight. It's as simple as that. Also, they do not differentiate to any great extent the love. Is your mother or father or brother or sister? They come through with love. And for some of you ladies, sometimes your mothers-in-law can come through as well, and they're still working on the love vibrations from that point of view. So it's a question of, I don't see lights, I don't see flashings or anything. I will simply go to you and I ask who is with you, because they have all known that you were coming tonight, and they're all queuing up, and our gatekeeper is standing there, he's got them in line, and I have my own group who are now saying, get on with it, woman, you've talked to one long enough. So, for the sake of, may I come to you, madam? You can say no, by the way. I have no objections to you saying no. Yes, okay. I have a lady who's come through. She's not very tall. She's my height, about the 5'4" mark, and she's coming through on a very strong mother link to you. Mother is in the world of spirit. Mother was, she could be quite fierce, couldn't she? And she just told me to stand up straight. And I said, I am doing that. But she's come through, obviously, with love. She comes through to say hello to you. It's nice to see you. But apparently you haven't been looking after yourself. No. And you haven't been sleeping very well anyway, never mind the dreaming. Yes. So from that point of view, she's just come through to say hello to you and for you to relax and know that she's around you and she's with you. Take her love. Thank you. That is something else I meant to mention, ladies and gentlemen. They come through because they know you're here. They don't tell me why they're here, but sometimes I have to ask them because I get fascinated as well. May I come to the lady sitting the second one and there? Yes, may I come to you, madam? Thank you. I have a gentleman who's come through. He will stand about between 5'10". He was taller, but he lost height before he passed over. I sense to have your father here. No, father still alive?
Yes.
Oh, good. Well, then that's obviously grandfather, because it's he's coming through on that very protective link, right? And he's here just to simply say hello to you. Life hasn't been very easy just recently with you, has it? It's been a bit traumatic, to say the least. And the spirit world is very aware of that. I gather that you have also been asking for healing, not just for yourself, but for someone else. And I'm being told via grandfather that healing is being sent through, so you can begin to relax a little bit. And that's all there is to it. Take his love and know that he's with you. Thank you very much indeed. Bless you. May I come to you, madam? Yes, nice talk. Good evening to you. I sense there is a younger energy coming through, and it's a lady. She would have been probably in her 30s before she passed over. Okay, don't worry about that, because if you do not know, I will ask who else is with them. Okay, but this young woman, she wants you to start listening to your music again. You're having difficulty relaxing, she tells me, and that your music, you liked the music. She doesn't tell me whether you sing along to it, but she said that it will help to relax you. This young lady passed over quite quickly, almost here today and gone tomorrow. You would have been considerably younger, obviously. I am asking who is with her, and your grandmother is in the world of spirit. She's alongside her, so she knows her, so you will know who she is. Grandmother, again, was quite a formidable lady in her own right. Again, if she said sit down, I would do so. I wouldn't argue with the lady. But in saying so, that she was very generous. She was generous with her time as well, but she did not like people to tell lies. And she said that has come down the line as well with you. That is the one thing that can really annoy you. So she's just come in to say hello, nice to see you, you're looking well. And there is a birthday or there's some sort of celebration just coming up. She will be there. Thank you very much indeed. May I come to you, madam? Good evening to you. I have a gentleman who's come through. He stands quite a tall man, and he's coming on also on a very strong family link to you. And since it's either a father figure or a grandfather figure, very much the head of the household. He passed over he's telling me in his 70s, so since I have grandfather, yes. And he must have had a bit of a chest before he passed over, because he's made that tense. He's just simply, as I said, they're just coming through to say hello to you. It's nice to see you. My job is to simply bring them through. It's your job to argue the toss, right? You either take it or you can't, but it doesn't matter what is said here. As soon as you begin to think, she couldn't know that, or that's a load of nonsense, or whatever, it means that you have developing your spiritual awareness, okay? So, grandfather, what is it about a fence at the moment? Do you have a problem with the fence?
No.
Well, he's talking about a fence, and it was a wood fence. Okay. Perhaps perhaps he's using that as some sort of symbolic. Right, you can now sense what he may be talking about. Because I ask him and they tell me to mind my own business. He's here just to simply reinforce the fact that you are strong and you can deal with whatever it is, right? You must not take it within you. Let it go, right? Deal with it and let it go. Take his love. Thank you very much indeed. May I come to the lady sitting with a nice black sparkly top? Yes?
Yes.
May I come to you?
Yes.
Mother is here?
Oh.
Yeah. Mother is, she could be quite madam, couldn't she? But she was a bit of a devil as well, wasn't she?
Yes.
She liked to laugh, and she liked to wind the children up.
Yes.
She said so to you.
Yeah.
Yes. And if they're all foolish enough, that's their problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's come through, she had a great deal of love, this lady. She liked to hug, and she tells me that you do too. So imagine a nice big hug, okay? That's what she wants to bring through. She liked Christmas, and she tells me you're quite looking forward to Christmas.
Yes, in some ways.
Yes, quite looking forward. She did say that, yes. What is it about, she's made me move my feet. Did she have a problem with her feet, or is it with you?
She did.
She did. Okay, but she's also talking about the fact that you must have a problem with some shoes or something.
Yeah, one pair was a bit uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah, because she's been with you when you've been trying to wear them.
Right.
And, she said it set her nerves tingling, right? It's a funny word to use, tingling, but that's what she's using.
Okay.
She's just here to say hello to you. Look after yourself. You're doing very well. Not only are you the matriarch of the family, but you're also seems to be the policeman of the family as well. Yes.
Yeah.
And they all come to you with their problems, don't they? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, she's highly impressed with what you're doing.
Oh,
So
thank
take
you.
her love.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. May I come to the young lady sitting? Second one in behind?
Yeah.
No?
Me?
The one next to you, please.
Yeah.
I'll come to you as well. But that young lady, right? I'm saying that. Are you by any chance related? All right, because suddenly the lady that I have with me said, well, you can talk to both of them anyway. Okay. And I believe I have grandmother here. Yes. She wasn't very tall, again about my height, the 5'4". It's the half, the mark. That's the bit. No. And she said all the women in the family, they all stand up straight because it's that extra half inch that they all want. She's going on. Are you also related to this? Oh, I see. Because she said the three of you've all been playing around with your hair in the last couple of days, and she's been with you. Okay, she is fine. Has she just recently passed over? Yes, because I'm getting a very energetic energy. Okay, so she is perfectly all right. She's not telling me. I rather gather that she was pretty frail before she passed over. Yes, but I'm okay now, right? And she is actually wielding her rolling pin. Now, I don't know why she's doing that, but the fact is, you may have been aware of it. If you've been at some stage been a bit got out of hand, she might have picked up the rolling pin and said, "Now, just you do as you're told," sort of thing. So that's what she's doing now. So you can relax, ladies. She is perfectly all right. She is gaining her energy, let's put it that way. And she is also now beginning, because when they pass over into the world of spirit, they go into the cocoon of love. And this is a question so that they all understand that they have now passed over. She is out of that now because she knew it. And she knows that she was loved here. So she's sending you her love. And to relax, girls. That's all she's saying. Relax, girls. And which one of you has been looking at handbags again? All right? Not you. Well, she was with you in the handbag. You got very close to buying it, didn't you? Yeah. Well, she's singing. She's learning. She's growing up. The other young lady, your grandmother was also quite a good cook, was she not? Yeah. She wants to give you a Victoria sponge, right? Because she says you're partial to that. That and a bit of cream to go with it. Okay? And for you, madam? What is it about knitting? Did she knit?
I used to do knitting with Mum years ago.
Because that's what she's showing me is the knitting. Because she said, for you it would be a form of relaxation. You don't have to knit sweaters, you can do anything you like. But, so she brings you the gifts of her memory through me. So thank you very much indeed, ladies.
Okay.
Bless you. May I come to the lady sitting behind the nice long blonde hair? May I come to you? No, you're the lady turning. You. 1, 2, 3 back. The blonde lady. You. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I'd like to be able to call out a name, but if I did that, everybody would say, because she knows her, doesn't she?
It's grey, not blonde.
But
I said it was grey, not blonde.
well, you see, you're under these lights. Yes. But may I come to you?
Of course.
Good, good. I have a gentleman who has come through. He's coming on a very strong father link to you. And father is in the world of spirit.
Yes.
He stood as quite a tall man, did he not? Although he lost a lot of weight before he passed over. Was he also very good with his hands? Could he repair or mend things?
He thought he could.
Well, yes. But we can sometimes, if we're doing this work, we can ask those in spirit to help us out. Yes, it is the thought behind the deed, right? He tells me that there has been a tremors around you, let's put it that way, right? Things that doesn't quite fit, doesn't gel well with you at the moment, right? And that is because someone is trying to impress you. Now, he's not, as I said, I wish he'd tell me, but I sense it may be another lady who's trying to impress you.
Possibly.
Yeah, and it's becoming a bit of a drag because you can't keep bringing them back down to earth, shall we say?
Right.
Right? In saying that, are you also by any chance a medium? Mediumistic ability?
Yeah, I
Yes.
have some, yeah.
Yes, because that is, in this particular instance, this is actually causing its own dilemma for you. Because whether you actually question yourself, she tells me, as to whether or not it's how you're reading what's happening or what is happening and what you sense is happening, and you can get yourself into a right tiswas over it, and she'd like you to just chill out, right? Because your energy is it is under demand all of the time anyway, and you must keep that. You must keep the battery charged up, let's put it this way. You don't need this ridiculous distraction, let's put it that way. The lady brings her love. Did I say a lady is a man as well?
Man.
But there's a lady alongside him?
Possibly.
Yes, and quite a very elegant lady. I mean, elegantly dressed. Pretty neatly dressed, this lady. But she comes through with a lot of power. So if she managed to get in front of the gentleman, I will go with her as well for the moment. Because that's what they bring through to you, is knowledge and power, strength, inner strength for you. And you must give your soul a chance to rest as well. So take their love. Thank you very much indeed. Bless you. May I come to the lady sitting in the front? Yes, may I come to you? Good evening to you. I have another lady who's come through. She passed into the world of spirit at quite an advanced age. I sense I have a mother figure here. And mother was, again, she was a gentle soul and didn't like being upset, didn't like things going wrong around her. And she says that you have the same attitude as well. You prefer things to go more smoothly, let's put it that way. The lady, she's, apart from just coming through to say hello to you, it's very nice to see you. She likes your jumper, by the way. And she said you thought about which one you would wear tonight, didn't you? And you chose that one, and she was pleased about that. It's the colour down the thing, that seems to be holding her, and that is bringing you actually a lot of energy she's bringing through to you. It's just here to say hello to you. You talk to her regularly, so that's not a thing. But this lady, she did like her cup and saucer, didn't she? Her tea in a cup and saucer. None of these mugs. She didn't have a great thing to say about the mugs. Yes, so take her love and know she's with you. Thank you very much indeed. May I come to you, madam? The lady sitting, yes? Good evening to you. A lady and a gentleman who have come through. It's mother and father? It's grandmother and grandfather? Yeah. Yes. He was much taller and the lady carried a bit more weight, didn't she? Yes. He tells me he thought he was the head of the household.
Yeah.
But it didn't work that way, did it? No. And it's not working either in the spirit world. It's been just told to stand up and keep quiet. But at the same time, she wasn't really a dictator, was she? When she needed to be, she could put her foot down, but generally speaking, they gelled, let's put it that way. They got on okay, they rubbed along, because that's how the marriages in some cases were. Yeah. They are here to say hello to you, and to remind you, you have to look after yourself, your health. You have been a little bit wayward, and whether it's what you've been eating or what you shouldn't be eating, as opposed to what you are eating. They just here to say hello, and so that you know that they're watching over you. The lady said you'll do it your own way anyway. Doesn't matter what anybody says. You learned that from her, if nothing else. But I think the gentleman is a little bit more hopeful. Let's put it that way. What is it about going walking? Has there been a discussion on walking?
I struggle with walking.
Because he said...
I've been doing a lot more of it.
Yeah. He said that the gentleman is saying you're doing very well. Keep it up, right? And you can keep on discussing it, but while you do some of it, this is the main thing. So take their love and know they're with you. Bless you. Thank you very much indeed. May I come to the lady sitting at the back? Yeah. Good evening to you. I have a lady who's coming alongside me, but she's bringing someone else with her. She's bringing someone, a younger person, and who wasn't very old when they passed over. Yeah. And it was almost a bit of a shock, that passing. Yeah. Yes. She's not letting me see it. She's just telling me, and I'm just getting the feeling that person now is perfectly all right. Okay. She is looking after that person. It's not even telling me whether it's a boy or a girl or what the sex is, let's put it that way. The lady is, how do I put this? The lady is incredibly strong. She was strong while she was here on the earth plane, and she's still strong in the world of spirit. She's also very, I'm going to use the word religious. She was very religious in her own right. She knows about spiritualism because she's actually can watch over and look what we're doing. She's chosen to come through tonight, she said, because you're a skeptic. Okay. And this is good because you'll have to think about it, and as you think about it, so your spirituality will become more, will unfold, let's put it that way. Right? I'm asking her if there's anything, she's going on about lights. Have you had a problem with lights? And I'm sensing headlights as opposed to indoor lights.
Not particularly.
Have you been experiencing the lights from cars being too bright? Yeah, she's been in the car with, she doesn't like it either, right? She tells me that you do talk to her. You have a conversation every now and again, especially with like something when the lights are on too bright for you. And so, and she's also now showing me herself standing by the old Belfast sink. Okay. And she's using an old washing board, you know, like that they used to skittle with it, that's a washing board, right? I'm asking her why she's gone to that much trouble. Oh, because apparently you have begun sorting through stuff. Yeah. And you're not only sorting through physical stuff, you're sorting through what's in your head as well. And it's almost as if you're washing, you're getting rid of stuff. It's okay. You're analysing it and then dispensing with it. Yeah. Take her love. Know that, for you to know that she's with you, okay? And that it's important that I tell you that the other person is also fine. Okay. Thank you very much indeed. Bless you. May I come to you, madam? Nice. Is that a copy? Yeah. Yes. The lady in the world of spirit has spotted it as well. It's grandmother, I believe. She also is another good cook, isn't she? Well, she's showing me stirring, yes. And normally when they're doing that, that's not just medicine either. There's been people stirring up things around you. She's giving me the impression with this, it's not soup that she's making, let's put it this way. She's watching what has been happening around you just recently. Things have been somewhat going out of kilter. No?
Yeah.
Not necessarily with people, I don't think. But
No, but it's just that she is aware that you seem to be spending quite a bit of energy and a bit of talking to people and calming people down. And they ask your opinion and then they go and do something completely different.
oh yeah.
Yeah, well, she's, as far as she's concerned, this is why she's using that as a symbol for me to see. She's here just to say hello to you. She likes your top, that. And I sense that she liked jewellery as well. She liked glitter, let's put it that way. Yeah, because to her it represented happiness, if you like, and that's what she really wants to bring through to you. Is this sense to relax and just enjoy what is going on around you. Take her love. Is it grandmother that I had? Yeah. Grandmother was quite elderly when she passed over. Yeah, but she's perfectly all right now. In fact, she's now. Normally, she would have presented herself in her early, 30s, early 40s, because she liked to dance. Yes, and she said that you like music as well. But she said just because we have so many here, she came in before she passed over. So take her love. Thank you very much. Bless you. Right, gentlemen.
Yes.
Gentleman has come through. He will stand about 5'10", 5'11", and he's coming on a very strong family link to you. I'm sensing the love is very, very protective. By any chance a partner in the world as well?
Yes.
He brings flowers. He's bringing flowers to you as well. He tells me that you love flowers, you love the scent, and you love scent.
Yes.
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 And he's here just to let you know that you have been you have been sorting problems as well,
Yes.
and you have been dwelling quite seriously on one in particular, and you have now made up your mind. He tells me, he said, and now we can all relax. He was a very charming man, wasn't he?
It could be.
He could be, yeah. Affable. I mean, he's saying he's talking to these strange women, and I keep telling him we're not that strange. But he was quite comfortable with women.
Yes.
Yes. And he's, while he was here on the earth plane, was he by any chance a healer?
No. He didn't really believe.
Well, that's what he's doing now, he tells me, because really they don't tell us what they're doing, but he said to tell you he's doing healing.
Oh, right.
And he's had to give some thought to it, right?
Yes.
Because that's what he would do anyway, under more circumstances. And it's very educational for him. He has had to look to within himself to come to find more. I'm going to use the word generosity, but I don't mean that in the terms of money. I mean of giving out of emotion. Let's put it that way. So he's here just to say hello to you and to thank you, because he wasn't listening to you while he was on the earth plane, but now he's now talking back to you from there.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Bless you. Now I come to the lady sitting. I was going to say by the fire, but no, it's not there. No. It's the shelf that was worrying me, yes. Again, there's a gentleman coming through. And he's coming through very much on a family link to you. He's not, he's being a bit, I was going to say shy, but that's putting it too far. But he wasn't that comfortable talking to different women, not women of the family, all right? I sense that he may be an uncle to you, a man he passed over relatively young, and I sense that he may have had a problem with his heart or his lungs, somewhere in this area. But he's perfectly all right, as you all know, because you work as a medium. No, but you are aware, yes, because he said. She knows because anyway, he's here really as a trial, okay? It's his first time to come up and did he have a bit of a stutter? Or a speech impediment as opposed to a stutter? Because he's desperately trying to talk to me, but I can't hear him to that extent, and I can't get out what he's trying to say. But I sense that he's just here to say, hello, it's nice to see you, and look after yourself, and he will be through again. Okay? Grandmother is also in the world, I suppose, is she not? Grandmother wasn't very tall, was she? No, but she was another energy source, wasn't she? So she's alongside him, so they will come again while he gets more practice in on this. What is it about, well, she's talking about toothpaste of all things. I don't know, I'm asking, apparently they don't have toothpaste. I never thought to ask them. No. But what is it also? It's all very good, but you have to be very careful when you're using. Oh, I don't know. She seems to be a bit of a quandary about this toothpaste. Let's put it this way. It's as if I'm getting the sense that she thinks that you should be buying something different. No, and they don't normally tell us what we can do, so I've told her that won't wash at all.
I've got an idea about it.
Oh, well, as long as you know what she's talking about. Thank goodness for that. Because she's getting me in a right tiswas. So as long as you know, you can accept that she's there and that you have an uncle who's also come through to talk with you.
Okay.
Thank you very much indeed for speaking with me. May I come to the lady sitting with the... Yes, may I come to you? Gentleman who's come through. He passed into the world for quite an advanced age. He was quite elderly. And I rather gather from what he's saying that there must be a form of dementia as well as being physically very weak.
Yes.
Yes. But he's okay now, right?
Yeah.
And he says he's still chatting now. He's chatting away and he's up and about and he's doing all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a little bit concerned that you have been mentioning that you're feeling a bit stiff getting up. Yeah.
I'm stiff.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what he's telling me. You've been talking about the fact that you're feeling stiff at times. And that he's a bit concerned because he said you will ignore it if it's anything to do, you'll ignore it in favour of everybody else around you. Mm-hmm. But don't. Because you must be very careful. And I know as I came in tonight, the leaves out there could be very dangerous. You can slip so very easily. Who have I got with me? Is it your father or is it a husband?
Well, they're both.
They're both there, all right.
Yes.
The gentleman, I sense it's more of husband than
Yes.
father. Because he's talking about you have a gold bracelet which you would normally wear?
No, I don't wear bracelets.
No, he's talking about the bangle, the gold bangle. Okay, I'm asking again, what is he using that? What does he mean by that? Have you actually beginning to feel that you're being tied down at home?
I think probably.
Yeah.
It's only recently it's passed and
Yeah.
things to do.
Yeah, and so from that point of view, it's a question of you must look after yourself.
Yes.
But do give yourself the odd treat.
Yes.
And he's now talking about ice cream.
Right.
All right? So take his love. Know he's with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I come to you, Mother? Good evening to you. A young man has come through. Probably a young man. He would have been in his 20s. Okay. Did you have brothers?
No.
Okay, so who are you? He comes through. He would have been in a motorcycle accident? No.
Possibly a friend of my daughter's.
Well, bear with me because I'm now asking who else is with it, because if they can't, if they're relatively new, they'll have someone else with them, right? There's a man taking a position beside him who he would have stood about taller than me, about 5'7", 5'8", something like that. He's coming through on a very much more like a father link to you. His father in the world of spirit. Okay, so he's standing alongside this young man, right? They're both here just to say hello to you. Apparently you haven't been feeling very well, been feeling very tired, and that you're not sleeping very well either. So they just want you to know that they're here to back you up, right? For you to draw off the strength and the energy from the world of spirit, okay? You find that very difficult to do, because you are, he tells me that self-sufficient, and to ask for help is very difficult, right? However, they are aware of that, and they would like to help you to relax more. I'm also being reminded to give to you, when you're resting, just put a rainbow over you, and let all of the colours flow down and through you. And if one of them stands out, take it, but don't try to hold on to it, just take it, because that way the spirit world can get all of the energy from each of the colours through to you. Take their love, know they're with you. Why am I getting the sense that you were hoping that one particular person might have come through?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Is it a man or a woman?
No, it was a woman.
A woman, okay. Because there is a lady, a very gentle soul. She's come, she's not yet, or she's not really prepared to energize herself with me at the moment. But she has this, I'm going to say almost healing hands,
Right.
touching hands. She liked to touch, didn't she? And she was a very loving lady as well. Very, very knowing as well.
Annoying.
Knowing.
Knowing.
Very knowing.
Right.
No, definitely not unknowing. No. She's come through because, to give you extra strength, to give you that extra backbone for whatever reason. She's just made me stagger slightly as well. Did she have a problem before she passed walking? Or is it you recently have?
No.
No? Okay, maybe it's another person coming in. But this lady, as I said, I've got a sense of reserve with her as well.
Yeah.
Know that she is around you, she watches over you, otherwise she wouldn't have been able to come through. Thank you very much indeed. Bless you. Where am I? How are we doing?
You can go on a bit longer if you want to. You
Oh,
could.
I'm always going a bit long because it's not my energy I'm working with.
You can go for as long as you want to then.
May I
I'm not
come
gonna-
to you? Thank you. Again, I have a gentleman who'd come through. He wasn't very tall, and he was quite, he carried a bit of weight, let's put it that way. He's coming through on a family link to you. And he, again, was another joker in the pack at times, if you recognise who it is. Because all he's here is just to say hello, it's nice to see you, you're looking very well. He's drawn my attention to your glasses. Have you had a problem with your eyes?
I have.
You have, okay, well they're aware of that in the world of spirit. While you can continue to have it checked out, they're on your side, let's put it that way. This gentleman, he's just now bouncing a ball. He's standing just bouncing a ball. I rather gather from that you must have quite a few things going on at the moment which you're having to sort out, and it is a bit like bouncing off a ball. The spirit world is aware of it. They are, and they're aware of you asking for not just for help for you, but for other people as well. Take the love. They are working with you. Thank you. May I come to you, madam?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, I have a younger energy coming through, and again, it's a younger man, which is very unusual for them to work with me like this. Okay, he would have been in his 30s, probably somewhere about 36, 37. He stood up near enough about 5'11", 6 foot, and he was very slim built, athletic. No, okay. I'm asking now who is alongside him. And there's a lady who's stepped up. She's come through on a family link to you. Grandmother. Grandmother would have had the same colour of hair as you as a younger woman. Well, the woman that I have would have had more of a tawny. Tawny, is that a colour for the hair? No?
I'm the only one.
You're the only one. Okay.
Well, I'm old.
Anyway, this lady that I have, who she would have been about my height, about the 5'4" mark, quite slender build, and she's coming on definitely on a very strong family link, grandmother link to you. So if she's telling me duff information with regards to the hair, there's nothing I can do about it, right? What is it about she had a thing about hanging out washing, all, out on the line. It had to be white. If it wasn't white, and she used blue bag. Are we talking about something you don't even know about, do you? No, right. Anyway, I have the grandmother and I have this young man, right?
Okay.
She's alongside the young man, so he couldn't be coming perhaps now. Are you in any form of circle? Are you training?
No.
You're not. Okay, well this one, when we say he could become a communicator, he may also be learning, okay? But grandmother brings through her energy, because she tells me that your energy levels have been pretty down as well. You've had not so much trouble sleeping, it's just the getting up. And it sounds silly, but it's the getting up, because you have to wind yourself up to get out of the, get going for the day, let's put it that way. And they are very aware of that. So she's just brought this young man in to introduce him to him, so you may get him again in the future. She's also now given me the smell of paint. Have you considered doing any decorating?
Needs doing, yes.
All right, well, perhaps you've thought of it and she's picked it up, so she's given that to me. So she is aware of what's going on around you, so take her love. Thank you very much indeed. Bless you. Where are we? May I come to you? Good evening to you. I have a lady who's coming through, very quiet, very reserved. She comes through on a very strong, loving family link to you as well. Grandmother in the world of spirit. Yeah. Did grandmother have sisters? Yeah, I sense that I had one of the sisters who's coming through, right? She's quite my build, or she would have been while she was here on the earth plane. But it's this sense of reserve with her that she's been highlighting, and I sense that is specifically related to you. You go about what you do, you just get on with things. You don't necessarily ask an awful lot of people's opinions because you've thought it out for yourself. You just deal with whatever it is. Right? She's here to say well done. Something that has been going on just recently that you've had to master and become very proficient at. Yeah, you don't need to tell me, she's just simply saying very well done. That is definitely a chip off the block when it comes to the women of the family. You're all industrious, but you're all very competent as well. Perhaps she's just practicing, I don't know, but she's come through to say hello to you tonight. And you also have been having the discussions with regards to spiritualism, haven't you? You're still very, yeah. Well, fair enough. That's fine, you see, because that's the whole point of it. You have to ask yourself, how could I find anything that from the world of spirit? And if whatever I have said, if you can accept any part of it, how did I know? So, and in doing that, you will then begin to the dialogue, let's put it that way. And what you decide at the end of the day is entirely up to you. Okay? There's no prize at the end of it. But in actual fact, I'm also getting a tremendous sense from this lady as well. Do you work as a healer? Are you by any chance a nurse? As a healer, as a yeah, well, I'm going to say the word healer again, but you look after people? Yes, because that's what she's just told me. That's what, that is what she's here to congratulate you on, because you have come to terms with some aspects of it as well. And you're now dealing with it in highly efficiently. So take their love. They are watching over you. They will welcome you when you're ready. Thank you very much indeed. Bless you. May I come to you? Thank you. He said, whoever it was had a bit of a cough before they passed over. I've asked them to take it away. I don't need it. Again, I sense it's a gentleman. And he was very, very poorly before he passed. Primarily, he tells me, because it was in his head as well. He tells me he could be very stubborn. And do you know what I'm talking about? All right. I mean, I've only got one at the moment, and I'm getting a very strong, pronounced personality, right? Who would speak his mind, irrespective, shame the devil sort of thing, right? But he's come through just for the sake of doing so, because that was his attitude as well, wasn't it? So he's here just to say hello to you. He said you're looking very well, and he's bringing through to you is this just really straightforward energy for you, right? Because he tells us, he's talking about the fact that just recently you have become aware of the, if you like, the depression that's around in the atmosphere. It's as if it's been very negative all around, and you've picked that up, which has made life a bit more difficult for you as well, because you keep thinking, am I ill? No, I'm not ill, but this, what is it that's going on? Yeah, that's just been confirmed, okay? That it's not in your imagination, and you have picked it up, okay? And you, like the rest of us now, are coming to terms with it, so we're now dealing with it. Mother is also in the world of spirit?
Yes.
Mother and you look very similar? Well,
I don't know, I'm not very good at it.
yeah. Well, because she's come in on the very positive, that's my girl, right? And I look at her and I could see the resemblance, right? And I have here a lady who was also a very loving lady as well. And she was a very good housekeeper as well. Not to the stage of pumping up the cushions behind you, but she did them when you went away, so let's put it that way. She's just here to say hello to you. Nice to see you, and to, they will talk to you in the fullness of time. Thank you very much indeed for talking with me. Now, where are we? How many? May I come to you, madam? Another lady who's coming through, and again, the lady, she lost a lot of weight before she passed over, and she was very, very frail, right? I sense that she may have even been bed rested for some time. The feeling that she's bringing is one of love for you. I sense I have mother here, but she hasn't actually said, I'm mum, okay? But this lady was very resilient throughout her life, and there wasn't much that would get past her, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And so she just simply popped in to say hello to you, and she said, you're coping very well. Now, I've asked her because I'd like to know, but they won't tell me. But you're coping very well. She's very proud of you for that, right? And somewhat unexpectedly, not from her point of view, from your point of view, right? She says, oh no, the girl was a lot stronger than she even believed, let's put it that way. She's here to say hello to you, just to say you're looking well, and to keep the faith, if that's an expression she would have used. So just take her love. Thank you very much indeed. There must be one of the men. May I come to the gentleman? Yes. Good evening to you, sir. Father is in the world of spirit.
Yeah.
Father is about your height. You're very tall, aren't you? And the same build as well.
Yeah.
Yes. He tells me he was, he's coming across as being very gruff. You know, he didn't go in for small talk, let's put it that way. He would talk to you, and he would talk to the other men in the family, but to the women, that was it. They had a job to do and let them get on with it. Well, that's what he's given me. That's how he's coming across, okay? He's just simply come through to say hello to you more than anything, because likewise, I rather gather that you two are debating as to the existence of the world of spirit, and from that point of view, it's just another, either a nail in the coffin, depending on how you look at it, or something else to think about, okay? Father comes across as being a very strong-willed man as well.
Yeah.
And he very pronounced in his thinking, let's put it that way. If he said, once he made his mind up, he was very difficult to get him to change, to think something different, right? He tells me though that is not your problem at all. In other words, you obviously make up your mind, but you are open to reasonable suggestions, right? He really wasn't. He was more concerned about having to put food on the table and just generally take the man's role. Okay? As I said, he's just simply come through to say good evening to you. It's nice to see you. What is it about your hands? Have you had a problem with your hands?
No, not really.
Because he's making me, sort of play around with my hands.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I rather gather that he had a problem too with his hands before he passed. Either the knuckles they were not as malleable, let's put it that way. It's just, as I said, it's hello, nice to see you, you're looking well, and now it's up to you, what do you think from now on? Okay, thank you very much indeed. May I come to the lady sitting with stars in her sweater? Good evening to you. Mother in the world of spirit? Mother and you looked not unlike each other? Yes. I wouldn't embarrass you as somebody, you're not a sister, but there is a definite look about the two of you. Mother is fine, she's perfectly alright. She's just getting on with things. She's talking about, you've been doing quite a bit of reading just recently. But you haven't been doing an awful lot of writing. No. What is it about words with you? She likes words, right? Now you like, so it's the definition of the words and the meaning of the words.
I don't know about that.
All right, but this is what Mum is just simply giving to me, coming across. She's just a bit concerned that you're not actually looking after yourself that much. You're at the back of the queue when it comes to doing things. So she said, no, that's not good enough, girl. You really do have to look after yourself. So take her love and know that she's with you. Thank you very much indeed. May I come to the lady sitting behind you with silver hair? Yes, may I come to you? Thank you. I have a gentleman who comes through, I sense. I have Father here. Again, another man who is very aware of his role as the man of the house.
Yes.
Yes. And a very, actually a very thoughtful man.
Yes.
However, it wasn't easy to get him in with a conversation, let's put it that way. He tended to take the attitude of being, silence is the best
Yes.
thing. He said, that's not in your vocabulary though, is it? No. Anyway, he's just come through to say hello to you. It's very nice to see you, that you're looking very well. Although apparently you haven't been feeling very well recently.
No.
No. They are aware of that in the world of spirits, and they are looking after that. They're taking care of you. Thank you very much indeed.
You are done if you want to be done. If you want to do some more, you can, but it's up to you because
Well, we've
you've
gone-
done your hour. So,
yeah. I don't know how many. Sir, may I come to you, the gentleman at the end? And I think we'll have done everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay. A lady in the world of spirit, mother, grandmother.
Yeah.
Grandmother was, literally a bundle of energy.
Yeah.
Yes. And she tells me that you have the same willingness to be energetic, but not quite the same enthusiasm for it. Does that make sense to you? Is she being a bit hard?
Sorry?
Is she being a bit hard on that?
I think so.
Yeah, but she's just, as I said, she's here, she's around you, she's just saying, well done. Have you had some sort of repair, something to be repaired just recently? She's used the word repaired. She's done it very well, whatever it is. All right, she's not telling me, they don't have to tell me that. It's just a question that she was here. To remind you though, go back into your childhood, you were very interested, you liked to, the open fire and the toasting of stuff in the fire and the visions of what you could see in the fire, right? Yeah, and so from that she said, don't lose that, because that's your escape mechanism. And that's an interesting word to use, escape, let's put it that way. Take her love, know that she's with you, and thank you, sir. And the gentleman sitting at the very back, I won't come tonight because I know my... Yes, may I come to you, sir? Father is definitely in the world of spirit, and grandfather is obviously, and you all look very similar. Similar build, and apparently similar attitude, very forthright, up front, get on with life, but not dictatorial. My grandfather was, but you're not from that point of view. He said that he now knows that he was wrong, so you have learned by not following in his footsteps. Let's put it that way. I sense that he was very keen on as a garden, and he's attaching the garden to you as well, right? It's not just growing grass; it is the growing of the stuff.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yes, because it's the grandfather at the moment is talking, the father is just listening. It seems to be the rhythm of life. You're very aware of the rhythm of life, right? And very sensitive to it as well, right? So from that point of view, what is it? Are you planning on major change to the garden? I'm getting the word planning, I'm getting the word change.
Yes, I am actually, yeah.
Right. So from that point of view, they are going to be around you and with you. So when you're actually thinking of something and you suddenly change your mind, do consult with them, make sure that it wasn't their suggestion. Okay? Take their regard. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
And I haven't come to you, have I? You thought I'd forgotten you.
I know it's never forgiven.
No. You wouldn't have forgiven me. No.
Of course I would.
Yes. Again, I'm getting the sense of a younger energy coming through. This time a younger female energy?
I didn't necessarily know that.
Alright. Okay, so this one is coming through. She used to like to dance, and she's not suggesting that you go out dancing, but at the same time, the use of movement, whether you're listening to the music, right? Doesn't mean you have to go dancing, but you could do some dancing. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Wish you could have said that. Couldn't you? Talk about going around the houses to do something. Okay, I'm asking also now who is alongside her. and I'm sensing would be grandmother in the world of spirit.
Yeah.
But grandmother who was about my height and more or less my build as well.
Okay.
Okay. They've come through. It's really just simply to say, you must be careful. I mean, we do not foretell, because that's one of the things we don't do, but why do you have to be careful? Yeah. Christmas is coming, right? So there'll be celebrations. There'll be a lot of laughter and fun and everything else. You have to be careful that you keep your demeanour, right? Well, as long as it makes sense to you, I wouldn't dream of asking any further questions on that score.
I can understand
Yeah.
that might be a difference.
So they're going to be around you to sort of give you, if you like, moral support, right? And that, especially the dancer, she wants to see you sort of enjoying yourself. It's been pretty boring, hasn't it, recently? It hasn't been much fun, has there?
A lot of change.
There's a lot of change, yes, but you've coped with it. But, you know, they could have thrown a party or something, couldn't they?
Yeah.
It didn't all have to be hard work, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, they're just here to say hello to you, and it's nice to see you. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much indeed. I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much. It's amazing. If you'd like to close, you can.
No.
I'll let you sit down. No, I'm so sorry. I'll let you sit down.
That's all
I'm
right.
so bad.
Yeah. Okay, be good enough to join me in the closing prayer. Divine Eternal Creator, higher spirits, guides, teachers, and all of the loved ones and friends who came through to work with me this evening, I thank you for your time, your energy, and your love. I would ask for one further favour, that each and every one here travels safely to their homes, and that their families were protected until such times as we should meet again. Amen.
Thank you. Right, I can't tell you the date of our next one because I've completely forgotten it, but I can tell you who's going to be here. And we've got Rosie Keane and Anne Forden coming, and they are lovely and amazing. Right off with the cash later. Let's see where we're going with our raffle. I've got two there. I've got 273. Anyone got a 273?
Yes, I have.
Right, I have. I'm going to do something like Generation Ago. I've got this lovely scarf and hat set. Very cute. Very nice. I've got a very nice fancy backpack. I've got chocolates. I've got Terry's chocolate orange. I've got a very nice little hat that says Stay Foxy, because I feel like that would suit you, see. And I've got some cute cat note cards.
I'll have what you've got on your head.
See, I knew you want that. Very lovely. I'm not going through them every time now. I'm not going to bore everybody, I promise. 323, anybody? You know the drill. Oh, what else we got? 313. Anybody got a 313? That's Michael.
Yeah. 299. 299.
Go for the bag. Go for the bag. I thought I'd find it, so I didn't want anyone to think that was my handbag. I just left it there. I was like, it is up for grabs.
259.
259. And there we go. There's your hat. Have a nice Stay Foxy hat. Right, I've got tea and coffee. As we know, I have a very noisy kettle thing over here. I won't be using this again. It's an experiment I won't do again.
No, it was interesting.